especially this time of year, right? We all have other things we could be doing. So tonight, we're going to go over a few different things, but one of them is, what does it mean to be in a team, and what is the purpose in a team? What can you actually get out of a team? But I do know that we have two brand new people on the call tonight, and since I don't recall their names or who they are, let's see, Jocelyn or Aaron, why don't you go ahead and do a welcome for them? I would love to hear who it is.
Yeah, it's my buddy Jennifer and her husband Sean Grams. Jennifer was like the fourth friend I had in college back in Toledo, and I'm so excited, Jennifer and Sean, for you guys to be on here. They both just got started yesterday, and here they are, part of this team less than 24 hours later.
Woo, 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 woo!
Wow. So awesome, guys. So awesome. Well, welcome, and it's really good to have you on here and to meet you virtually.
Jennifer, why are you upside down?
Yeah. I don't see, you're not on mute, so we should be able to hear you, and you're upside down, Jennifer. Don't know why?
We'll mess with her and see if we can help.
Okay. All right. Awesome. All right. So, there's a number of us guys on this team that we have a private chat, and we all check in with each other. That's right, Brad. Love it. Love this team. And, we really support each other. We really, it's like the brotherhood. And one of the things that has come up a lot in the past couple of weeks, and it's not a new conversation, right, for any one of us on this team. And even though, Jennifer, you're one day in and you're probably not quite clear what it means to check out or to retreat or to disappear, I'm sure you can understand the concept. So what came up in our chat this last week was, disappearing, where you just go out of communication, where you withdraw. Maybe you don't go completely out of communication. Maybe you stay in just enough, right? But something happens, something occurs. Maybe it's a phone call. Maybe it's a series of phone calls. Maybe you get, 5 or 6 no's in a row, or you get that one person who was your best friend, who you knew was just going to be amazing at this business, and just you would build it together, and you would run, and it would just be glorious and amazing. And they said, no, I'm not doing that. And you took it personally. I don't know what it has been for everybody, but I know personally for me, I've certainly just checked out. Just like, you know what? I've got a normal, so to speak, 9-to-5 job that keeps me more than enough busy. I've got a daughter who lives in Ohio. So I've got 1,000,001 reasons of why I don't need to be putting my heart and soul into this. And I've got 1,000,001 reasons of why I don't need to be, jumping on calls with people and boosting them up and pouring love into them. But if you listen to everything that I just said, what is that one thing that I'm seriously focused on? Anybody know? And for whatever reason, I can't, yeah, I see Brad, I see a few other people pointing to themselves. That one thing that I'm focused on is me. I have completely lost sight of the team. I just lost sight of everybody else but me. My entire focus is on me, poor me. I'm overwhelmed. Nobody else is overwhelmed because they have, Lindsay and Elliot, oh my God, they are the perfect couple and they never fight. And Lindsay with her gorgeous hair, they're perfect. They don't ever have any problems. And, Jocelyn and Aaron, I'm sure they have never, ever spoken one harsh word to each other. We get this mentality that people are perfect, right? we somehow get it that maybe, okay, Lindsay and Elliot have been in this team longer. So, sorry, I was talking about you, Lindsay, there. Right? And we get it in our heads that somehow they have it all figured out. Well, you know what? It doesn't matter how long you've been in. You're still going to run into the same things. You're still going to be confronted by your upper limit. You're going to be confronted by the hard nose. You're going to be confronted by yourself in your comfort zone. So there's one thing I want to share a quick little story, and then I'm going to ask a question. But before I get into that, I just want to could everybody raise their hand if you're willing to play 100% with me tonight? Everybody in? 100%? All right, sweet, cool. So, talking about my reasons and everything, this is where I get to tell one on myself. So a week ago, I had it that I had enough reasons that I didn't need to go to New Year's kickoff. I didn't have the time off. I'm actually out of paid time off until February 1st. So when I go to New Year's kickoff, it's going to cost me. Friday, I don't get paid. And let's see, I was waiting on a big bonus this year. I didn't get the bonus. And I had a list a mile long, right? And I actually put my ticket up for sale on Saturday night. And I was like, this is going to be so much easier financially. I know in the spring, I'll kill it. I'm going to kick some ass. I'll get back in my groove, but I can't do it. Well, Sunday night, I get a call from Lisa, and she was checking in with me. Didn't say anything to her about my ticket up for sale. We had a good little chat. Well, on the call Monday night, she mentioned, I don't know if you guys saw or not, but I know Lindsay and Jocelyn and Lisa all went to a weekend in Vegas. And I'm sure that weekend was incredible. And yet at the same time, it was exhausting. So Sunday night, Lisa was sharing how she came home, made a few phone calls, kicked back and watched a movie or watched a show or something like that. Maybe it was Grey's Anatomy. I don't know what it was. It hit me that she had actually taken the time after that busy, crazy weekend to reach out to me. So if Lisa can believe in me, you're damn straight I can believe in myself enough to go. Guys, we're going to lose belief in ourselves, right? It's going to happen every day. Or maybe not every day, hopefully not every day, right? But it's going to happen throughout our journey. We're going to lose belief. But I know Lisa, I know Eva has never stopped believing in me, right? And there's someone on this team that believes in you just as much as those people believe in me. They wouldn't have invited you on this call. They wouldn't have wanted you to be a part of this team. It's a relationship that they have with you. So you wouldn't invite somebody that you can't stand or you don't get along with, or you don't see something just incredible in them. You would not invite them into this group. So whoever you are, whether I've met you or not, I can promise you that somebody believes in you and they see just an incredible, badass leader. Maybe you haven't stepped out of that comfort zone yet. Maybe you're not quite there. It doesn't matter. Those moments when you don't have that belief, I invite you to take a step back and say, you know what, that person believes in me. That's what I invite you to do. So, what I really want to ask, and I'd love 6 or 8 people to share something with me. And this is maybe take something, right, a little bit personal, and you're going to have to unmute yourself. But my question for you is, what has you retreat? What has you disappear? What is it that gets in your space to say, I'm going to check out? Maybe you don't even do it consciously, right? Mr. Elliott.
Yo, Drew, awesome share, man. That was cool. And a lot of people believe in you, buddy. So
thanks, buddy.
There. For me, I usually retreat when I am like going on a pizza binge or like just totally off my game. Like when it comes to the products,
Uh-huh.
I tend to like want to be like, oh, I don't feel good. I just want to like, I want to hide out. I don't want people to see my puffy cheeks from all the sodium I ate over the weekend. Like
Just the beard. Just the beard.
Yeah.
you know, so that's usually when I kind of go isolation mode.
Yep. No, that's perfect. And I know a lot of other people have their hands up, but real quick, I really want to point something out very specific to Elliot's share. If you are not sharing, if you are not really jumping in a part of the team, you're probably not connected to our products. So if you're not, if you haven't done a cleanse in a while, I invite you to just do a cleanse. If you're off your game and you've been binging on pizza and beer for the past 2 weeks, do a 9-day cleanse. I don't know, whatever it takes for you to get reconnected to our products, right? How can you share if you're not connected to it and you're doing other things and you're completely off your game? All right, cool. Who's next? And I can't see everybody at once. Mr. Michael McPherson.
Yeah, for me, I know, gone in and out a couple times, more than a couple times, really. But when I stop producing results in the business and when I stop taking action, like doing what I know to do, connecting with people, reaching out to new people, following up with people I've already reached out to, for myself, I'm out of integrity as a leader, and that's when I retreat. That's when I disappear.
Yep. No, I've definitely done the same thing. Right there with you, buddy. Right there with you. Rachel, do I see your hand up? Nope. Okay. Mr. Brad. Go ahead, Brad.
I was going to share too, so I guess both of us could. I know for me, it's the excuse of I'm too busy or I don't have the mental space to keep, doing or reaching out or following up. But really, we always have time for the things that we want to do. Isn't that funny? So if I sat down and wrote out my day or wrote out what I wanted to accomplish, I would have time for the things that I know I should be doing or that I want the end result, right? So I think for me, it's just the excuse of, well, I'm too busy.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's different. It's almost like self-doubt or, self-non-belief. Like, even though, and Lisa did remind me of this the other day, we've had several enrollments. And even though I feel like I'm a failure, she reminded me of what we've accomplished so far. But in the moments where I felt like I was failing, it was kind of nice to have my bros over here and then Lisa just remind me, of my accomplishments and that I'm not a failure, even though some days you don't feel like a winner.
Yep, exactly. Guys, just one thing to consider there, your feelings rarely reflect the reality going on around you, right? It's just usually not the case. All right, one more. Let's see, I saw a hand. Margie?
So I relate a lot with what Elliot said. I'm sorry for my terrible camera, but I fall out when I've done terrible on football weekends or if when I'm not a complete product of the product. I always believe in the product and what it can do for others, but if I'm not living it the best that I can, that's when I kind of fade back. How would people believe me if I'm not doing it myself? And to tag on to what Danielle said with being too busy, something that was mentioned last week about just scheduling things. I have a lot of mom guilt with taking time away from my kids, but when I schedule it for when I'm really going to sit down to make my contacts or catch up with folks, that's my time, and I can't feel guilty, and then I give my time to my kids later. But those are my two big things.
Wow, that is perfect, Margie. That is so perfect. I've had several people coach me on that, where your why cannot be your excuse for not doing it. If your why is your kids, if your why is to build a team with your girlfriend, if your why is, whatever it is, that can't be your excuse to not do it, or you're going to have serious conflict. right? You're going to notice that really quickly. All right, cool. So the next thing up that I really think is a great topic, a great point in all of this, and that is certainty. So Mr. Michael McPherson, take it away. Share with us a little bit about certainty and what it means.
Wow, just super stoked. Like I'm having trouble just staying in my seat here. I'm so excited. But yeah, certainty. I mean, when people disappear, when I disappear, when you disappear, what is it really? Like, what's happening really? And I'm saying, and you may agree with me or not, but I'm saying at some level, you've lost your sense of certainty to whatever degree. Maybe it's 10%, like you're having a 90% certainty day. Or maybe it's like a 10% certainty day and you're 90% uncertain how this is going to go. And when I say certainty, what I mean is, how many people on this call would say they have a vision for what they're doing with their Isogenics business? Everybody, I hope, right?
Yep.
So you get disconnected from your vision. And so what do we do? Like, Jocelyn, when was University in Action this year?
This past year?
Yeah.
Is that March?
Like March, yeah.
So in March, I'll tell you a quick story, just so you guys can kind of get why certainty and cultivating it and generating it is so important. In March, before University in Action, I was starting to have conversations with the leaders on this team about quitting Isogenics. And I was like convinced in my mind that that's what I was doing. And I was talking to them like, look, I know I've made all these promises, but I just feel called to go and do something else. I was going to go on staff at Landmark, which is, you know, I'd have one day off a week. There's no way I would really have time to build an Isogenics business. And at that point in my life, like, I just thought that was true. So Jocelyn, having had certainty in herself, having built that certainty for herself, was able to reach out to me. And at that point, I hadn't developed the kind of wealth consciousness that I have now. And I was like, I didn't have a ticket, and I was sure that I did not have the money to get a ticket. So I was sure that I was not going, and I was quitting Isogenics. Jocelyn reaches out to me, gives me a ticket to University in Action. I go for the entire weekend, and I come out of that thing like, what was I thinking? Like, literally hands on my head. How was I going to give up this opportunity? And that didn't come from me. I was on my way out. Why it's so important that you're doing something every single day to cultivate a level of certainty is not for you. I mean, it is, because ultimately you want to see your vision and just know it's happening. That's the level you want to be at. You want to have seen yourself so many times accomplishing your goal, whatever that is for this business, that you already know it's happening. It's just a matter of when's it going to show up in your experience. But it's not really about you, you know, it's about having that level of certainty to the point where that you can then reach out to somebody else. Like Lisa reached out to Drew. Like Jocelyn reached out to me. Reach out to somebody that's on their way out, or you haven't seen for a while, that you just believe in. Like, you know they can do this. They might not know it right now, but you know. So, I mean, that's really what I got. But I just want to know, and I want some people to share, what are you doing on a daily basis to cultivate and generate certainty for yourself so that you can be available for other people on this team? Who would like to share? Lisa?
So every night I do the same things. I've done it for 8.5 years. I write my goals. And then I spend some time, probably 5-10 minutes, visualizing them as if they've already happened. I reconnect with why I'm doing this. I write my gratitudes, things that I'm grateful for, and I write my gains, which are things that went well, whether it's finding, $1 in the couch cushions, or my kids emptied the dishwasher without asking, or I made a call that scared me, whatever it is. But whatever you focus on, you find, right? So I focus on the good things every night before I go to bed, and every morning I do the same thing when I wake up. And then the other big thing, and I can't stress this enough, is I get to the events. I don't let more than a few months go by without getting to a major destination event. Like I go to 4 a year, because that's where the belief is made. That's what got me into this in the very beginning, was getting to an event and seeing what is truly possible for my life, and that I can have really anything that I want, if I'm willing to stick with it and to go after it with heart and passion and dedication. But the events are what bring you back. And so if anybody isn't going to New Year's Kickoff, which is our big event in January, get to New Year's Kickoff. I can't even tell you how important that is.
That's such a good plug, Lisa. Oh my God, it's like so perfect. And really, let's bring it and get it on the court, like in our businesses, in our lives. I want you to think of, and I'm going to do this too, and I actually already have 3 names. I want you to think of people that you've either become disconnected with or lost touch with, that you actually believe in. Like people that can be successful at this, that I've quite frankly given up on for the time being. And I want you to reach out to them. And you can just ask them how you can best support them, or you can take it to the next level and invite them to New Year's Kickoff, or invite them to plug into the next event to get reconnected to what we're up to here. Yep. So would anybody else like to share about that? Lindsay?
Oh, good. This is so great, and thank you both, Drew and Michael, for this conversation. I think what you're helping me reconnect with, Michael, is even just remembering that certainty is something that I can build. I think so often the times, and for us this has been almost 7 years, and in spring it'll be 7 years with Isagenix. So we've certainly had our ups and downs. We've had plenty of times where the voices saying we can't do it or we're not good enough are louder than those that say we can. But to remember that I can choose to build and pour into my own certainty at any time that I want to, rather than what I have more evidence for. For my almost 32 years or 33 years on this earth, I've had a lot of evidence for how not good enough I am. Like we all, create those stories and build those stories. So just to remember that sometimes it feels difficult to create that certainty or reconnect with it because I just haven't been practicing that for as long. And just to give myself grace that not every day is going to feel awesome. Some days I'm doing more internal work. Other days I'm on fire, reaching out, pouring into others. But I think going back to what Drew said, what really makes a team, this environment, this community, and then the greater Isagenix community is really what has me always reconnect with why I have certainty around our mission and what we're doing here. So awesome. Just such an awesome conversation, and thank you both.
Yeah, so good. Lindsay, what's something you do daily to generate or build your own certainty?
I'm always listening to something. So a podcast, it doesn't even have to necessarily, can you guys hear me? It's kind of cutting in and out for us.
Yes.
Always listening to something, not during income producing time, but either while I'm driving or working out. I'm filling my mind with something empowering, uplifting, positive, listening to accounts of other people who've overcome tremendous struggle. It's like when you hear about someone who has like no legs and they ran a marathon, you're like, dang it, like my problem seems so small today. But that's one thing I do every single day.
So good. So good. All right. Well, that's enough for me. I'm exiting myself off. Eva, where are you? It's your turn. You're up.
So there's something really quick I want to say, Eva, before you start. And that is, to touch back on what Lisa mentioned about events. whenever I say I don't want to go to events, forever in my mind will be this little voice named Eva Jacoby that says, go to every stinking event. And, you know, that comes from, I don't recall exactly how many years of experience you had in network marketing before you hit with Isagenix, but it definitely has stuck in my brain. And even when I wasn't enrolling anyone, even when I had absolutely zero results, I still showed up to events. And it makes a difference, guys. Keep showing up. So Eva, love to hear what you have to say, hon.
Well, it's funny to hear that. So just to give you guys a sense, before Isagenix, I was in Amway for 7 years. And I was at events every week, 7 years. I did not miss anything. And it was insane. But I was committed. And that was the message. If you're building and you're part of the team, you show up. Like I drove down from Jersey to Baltimore at 9 p.m. that night. Like I left at 9 p.m. I had to get there. I couldn't go earlier. I had to get there. And, events at this point, it's the major events, but it's even these calls. It's even these huddles. Like how many people on this call joined, for themselves, but also joined because they found out they were going to be part of a bigger team. Did that motivate anybody? Just if you can raise your hand so I can get a sense. Okay, so not everybody, but some people. And, I've heard in this business say, like, solo is a no-go. We do join for ourselves, but we're not building by ourselves. And that is the coolest part. Because like everybody has kind of stated already, we have tough times. When we're rolling and we're enrolling and we're, creating consultants and rank advancing, you want to talk to everybody. You're like, who can I call next? And who can I talk to? And who from my team members can I talk to? And who can I, lift up? But that moment where everything changes, where all of a sudden you went from a superstar to like, I can't even have a conversation. Yeah, it's easy to run.
Yep.
It's so easy to run. And I guess to share a little bit of my story, I came in and I had no idea what I was doing. All of a sudden I was just really excited. I was like, everybody's got to try this. And I started off with like a bang, and this year was like a tough year for me. And there's been a lot of challenges. And in that time I was running. Oh man, I ran in my own way. I was always somehow in contact. Lisa, I always was in touch with Lisa and Jocelyn and Lindsay and Drew. But from the bigger team for showing up in a way that I committed to show up for the team, I ran hard. But if it wasn't for the people I just stated, and just like knowing that there is this place to show up to on Monday, I might have been gone, because I lost, again, belief in myself. I know I'm confident in myself that I can help people with their health. I can certainly help people with a 30-day cleanse. But when I started to get in my head that I'm, all of a sudden, like, creating consultants is hard, or this is hard, or that is hard, I wanted to run. I lost the belief in myself. But this team is what it's all about. This team is, I had an incredible call with Jocelyn today, and it's just like, yes, like we pull each other forward. We don't give up on each other. And that makes all the difference in the end. And hell, it would be a lot more boring if we were doing it all by ourselves. So, and the cool thing is, like, we don't, I have certain strengths, Jocelyn has certain strengths, Lindsay, Drew, like, we all have different strengths, and being able to come together as a team, so much more powerful. I don't know if you guys have heard the analogy where it's like you try to break one pencil and it easily snaps, but when you grab like a handful, let's say you grab like 50 pencils, good luck if you can snap them, because they're just too strong. And and that's really what this represents. So you know, if you have those moments where you want to do it your way, you want to do it alone, ego is showing up, attitude is showing up, you know, the gratitude is gone. Check yourself, guys, and reach out to whoever it is that, you know, will help you get clarity, will help, you know, if it's, you need like a love tap, or you just need someone to say, hello, I love you, where are you? Or if you need it a little bit more forceful than that, you know, find that person and don't run. Easy. It's so easy to run. Oh my God.
Yep.
So on that note, I give it back to you, Drew.
Wow. Well, thank you so much. One quick thing. I realized, guys, we're like 2 minutes past, and so I want to wrap this up real quick. But thank you so much, Eva. That was just incredible. And thank you also, Michael. So one last thing I want to share really quick, and I realize if you have to go, you need to get off, go ahead. I have been guilty of this one, and that is, you know what? Somebody hasn't checked on me in 3 weeks, so screw this team. Guess what? That doesn't work. You know, the quickest way to be reconnected to the team is to get on the phone. Send somebody a text, send somebody a message, reach out to somebody. In fact, since we have probably all, I can pretty much assume we've all checked out at least at one time or another. It's probably something really good to put into practice of 1 day a week, if not more, reaching out to somebody on this team that you may not be directly connected to, but just say hi. How you guys doing? You know, we have this, thanks to Mr. Aaron Freeman, we have this really great men's group. Don't be afraid to start your own little group. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody that you see on this Zoom call that you may have never met and just say, hey, I loved your share, or something like that. Like, connect with somebody, guys. It is so powerful and it is so important. So with that, I just want to say thank you guys so much for being on the call. Jocelyn, I know you had something you wanted to share. I know we're over our time, but if you really want, if you need to share it, did you want to still share?
I think it was Lindsay. Lindsay, you want to throw it in?
Lindsay?
Yeah. Hey, guys, we just wanted to give a quick plug for the Facebook Live opportunity meeting that we're going to be doing on Wednesday. There is, I don't even have the words for it. There is so much excitement in this team, and we are planning some unbelievable promotions and things to kick off the new year. But this is your reminder. January starts now. And with that. That was the theme of our family Christmas this last weekend, was we taught my mom how to dab. But so here's kind of what to know about this call so you can be effectively inviting people. The last one we did, we covered a lot of product. This one is going to be equal product and business. We're really going to set it up from the standpoint of, and here's maybe some talk tracks to be inviting people with, and then I'd love to hear if you have some too. People are looking for solutions in the new year. They are typically looking for solutions around their health, their well-being, and their finances. We have both. We have all of that and more. And now is the time for people to be evaluating their options so they can go into the new year, start January 1st with a plan, knowing what they're going to do, even if they don't necessarily get started until January 1st. So we're going to create context around not just what the vehicle of Isagenix and what we offer, but around this team, this culture, and something you're going to be hearing a lot more about coming very soon, called Leaders Rising, which is an opportunity for people to just take every area of their life to the next level in January, regardless of whether they really see Isagenix as a business vehicle or not. The topics that we're going to discuss in this program that we're kicking off the first week of January, you can invite everyone, every single person, every single human being who wants more in their life is going to get value out of this call. So there's going to be a lot of value we share on the Facebook Live, and you really want to set it up as that. You don't have to beg people to show up to this, hey, just check it out. No, you want to tell them, like, look, you're going to want to be on this call. You're going to hear so much value and a plan to set yourself up for success in the new year. We're going to tie all that back to Isagenix, of course, but we're really going to create a context around have people having it all in 2017, and show them that by partnering with us, that's one way that they can do that. So we're super pumped.
Yo.
Yeah.
That's pretty hard to follow up. I think I'm just going to let that one simmer because that was hot.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. So be posting in that event page. Be reaching out and personally inviting people. Do not, and I repeat, do not just add people to an event and expect that they will show up to it. You want to reach out and personally invite people to tune in and follow up with those that say they're going to. Just like before, the Facebook Live video will go live right in the event page. So they just need to be on their phone or computer. They'll be able to watch the whole thing. We'll keep it to 40, maybe 45 minutes tops. But like I said, pack a ton of value into that time. Any questions? Cool. All right, we love you guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.